Hello and welcome to the recap. This is the recording to accompany yesterday's session. This is week one of the NCFE Northern Council of Further Education Creative Craft Award in Sewing, Garment Design and Construction, Level 1. We started yesterday with a couple of little activities. We did some housekeeping, completed some forms, bits and pieces. We also we watched that lovely video by Cornwall Council to tell us a little bit about how the centre runs and the expectations when you're on a further education course. We also did an activity, our first activity together. This mystery bag, what I put together, where I got you to pick out one item and asked you to share how you would use it in a project, and I thought that was really nice. We completed some forms. So the forms that we completed was the personal learning plan, which talks about the goals of what you know now and what you'd like to achieve at the end of the course. There was a photographic consent form, and the purpose of the form, because I know a couple of people asked me yesterday, but just as a reminder, the consent form is really you consenting to taking photographs to document your progress throughout the course. And of course, at the end of these 24 sessions, we're gonna all have these final skirts to look at. And I think it would be nice for me, with your consent, to be able to take a photograph of the skirt, or even a couple of photographs of your portfolio to document that journey, to be able to show learners in the future. Obviously, you're not going to be in the photograph, it is solely of your work, and that's the purpose of the consent form. We also had a little bit of health and safety relating to the tools that we're going to use, that we used rather yesterday. So, the award in sewing, garment design and construction is a national vocational qualification and NVQ level 1. It's held by the awarding body, the Northern Council for Further Education, and they design qualifications which are based on creative craft. And which they call create. I have to get it right. They call it the creative craft. But the centre have designed it in the sense, and for myself, I have designed it where you will learn the award in sewing, garment design, and construction. The purpose of the qualification is really for you to build on skills in sewing, in garment design, and in making as well. So there will be some art aspect into it, which is really nice actually, because I learnt yesterday that there's quite a few people who have got qualifications in art. So that's really nice, because that's going to be where you're going to hone those skills. You're also going to learn to develop some construction skills. So there are always things that, some of us know and some of us don't know, and we're going to learn throughout this process. Along with those foundational skills, we are going to make lots and lots of samples. I emphasize that word lots and lots, because we will. We will manipulate fabric. We will research art, history, and designers. We will learn to read a pattern, which is always very important in construction. Measuring, the fundamental tools, reading a pattern, being able to, like I say, measure and fit and adapt your ideas based adapt your ideas based on the elements that you have made from your portfolio earlier. You will make a toile. A toile is a sample, and the purpose of making the sample is so that you can just work out if your ideas have worked after you've made your technical samples, um, and also be able to adjust the fitting. I know a few of you said that you're going to make the skirt for somebody of your choice. So that the good thing with the toile is you can make those adaptations. And once you've made those adaptations, you will then make the final skirt. And we also ask you to reflect on the process. Reflection is really important, especially for us as adults. We reflect on everything. We always want to think about, like, why are we doing this? And everything has a cause and effect. And what did we learn out of it? Because that's what we do as human beings. We analyze all of our processes. Throughout our first seven sessions, which make up Unit 1, I have given you the content, the course content, or the syllabus of what we're going to cover over the next 7 weeks. So I won't go through it because I think I went through it yesterday, but if you're not sure, please look at Moodle. That will break it down for you. The candidate pack. So the candidate pack is basically like the student handbook. That's how I sort of see it. It sets out the information that you need, the evidence that you're going to collect to achieve Unit 1 and complete the course. In there is everything that you need to know as a learner. So you'll find like an overview, a welcome, the aims of the qualification, the structure, the units, and along with the credit values as well. The learning outcomes are really important because they're what you need to be able to show at the end of the course, and they are linked to the NCF unit criteria. There will also be some assessment and, as we talked about, some evidence requirements. Also, how your work's going to be checked. Your work's going to be checked through the photographs that you take, through the annotation or the notes that you use to document the sketches that you have made in your portfolio along with the samples. There is a section on policies and expectations, attendance, health and safety, the code of conduct, and using the facilities and also safeguarding. Always really important elements to think about, especially at this time of life. Support information. You might need some support information. I could give you some reasonable. I want to offer you reasonable adjustments. Whoops, that was quite a mouthful to say whilst you're on the course, and you would just need to let me know. There is also some guidance in there that will explain to you how to label and organize your evidence. I could give you a sample page of the layout. I think we had a look at the sample page yesterday, but basically, sort of think of it as like a starter kit that sets the standard on what you need to be able to work safely and track the information. And really, it's what success is going to look like at the end of the course. So, Unit 1 is our first unit together, and it's about exploring tools and resources. That is, well, we're going to explore and develop tools and resources and our basic skills. And what they've done is they've broken it down into 5 learning outcomes. And as we said, these learning outcomes are the things that you need to be able to evidence, to show, to be able to pass the unit criteria. On the left, you'll see the reference codes. So the reference codes are basically like an identifier that will map the learning outcome to show that you have achieved that piece of evidence. And the evidence, how you show that you have achieved the evidence, that's through the work that you're going to produce and also the notes that you're going to make. Underneath, you'll see some information about how we can collect that evidence. So they'll break it down. So when we explore, to be able to explore, that's through the guidance of the work that I have set out for you. When we look at things like the characteristics, we're looking at the fabric, as it says here, the visual and the tactile qualities of materials. We're going to do some comparisons and so on and so on. And I'm not going to read through the candidate pack. I'll let you read that in your own time. Here is some photographs of previous learners' work. You can see that they've all sort of made a skirt, but it's got slightly different elements, and it's based on the research that they did and the design development to get them to this stage. Moodle is your online learning platform, as we've discussed. There is a wealth of information in there already. I have spent time adding bits and pieces along with this recording that will go in there. So, how Moodle works is every time I upload a piece of information, you'll be sent an email notification. So, that's when you'll know it's time to really check it. And what I always do is I always put a recap of the session, so I always add an audio recap, and if I present anything, uh, like today, I am doing a recap on the presentation slides, probably in a little bit more detail as well. And I'll do a written recap as well. There is an independent learning task that I'd like you to complete by Sunday. No pressure. But you've already taken notes yesterday, so that should be really simple for you. um, but enjoy it, and if you're not sure, or if you think I haven't explained something very clearly, please go back and revisit Moodle, because that's the purpose of it. It does mean that I can go back over elements. You can find the handouts, the resources. There may be some books on there that you're able to use as guidance as well. So there's always lots of information on there, and like I say, just keep your eye out for the for when I ping you, for when Moodle will drop an email ping in your message box, and then it will tell you when to look to find the resource. So if you've got any questions, drop me a message through Moodle. Like I said, I always try to keep our inboxes as clean as possible, and it does mean that we've got everything all in one place, so it does make it easier. But enjoy it, and I hope that you got lots out of your first session. And it was great to meet you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week when we start looking at our sewing machines. So bye for now.